What's going on, everybody? Welcome. My name is Chris, aka RumblePack92, and you're watching This is the Waypoint, the one and only Star Wars discussion show right here on the Shared Screens Podcast Network. Today, we are talking about Andor, episode 11, the penultimate episode to season 1. Joining me, as always, our resident... Shit, I can't remember the name of the little troll aliens, the little goblin-y, whatever. It's Josh.
Yeah, something A. I love that dude.
It hit my brain and then stopped, and I was like, and joining us is... Whatever, doesn't matter. Calling in from new place. All moved in, looking fresh, running the ones and twos. It's Alec Bobko.
Ayo.
I said running the ones and twos. Actually, I'm the one recording today, so I don't know why I said that. That's why I'm not listening to music right now, because it would be all over the recording.
That's just your rigmarole.
I'm there for it, man. It's our guy in the chair at this point. Just our resident guy in the chair, and of course, for this show, as always, friend of the show, joining the show, handsome while on the show, Darren Roots 427. Yeah, hey, no, you. Yeah, that guy.
I'm handsome. It's me.
It's me.
Hi, everybody.
Guy.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us this week. As always, it's always a pleasure to have you. This episode
of my week
of Andor, I really liked, boys. Is it like crazy? One. No. Is there a ton that happens? No. Is Tony Gilroy an incredible writer? Yes.
Is this going to be a shorter episode because of it? Yes.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, there's not too much to...
Just a lot of setup.
To go off of today. Yeah. It's very much clearly setting up for a banger of a finale. We're getting all of our A, B, and C plot threads all starting to culminate and tie into the singular event of Marva's funeral. That... everyone's kind of watching, everyone's waiting. This is going to be the thing that sets this season off, right? Of course, we got Luthen getting caught by the Imperials briefly. They've got his voice now. Yeah, they've heard him. He's been spotted in pirate space. They know his ship, right? That's troublesome. You got Mon Mothma's doing it. She's like probably gonna sell my kid or marry off my kid to this fucking to the raddest child I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the rad kid.
That's a joke from last week. If you didn't watch that episode, please go watch our last episode, because
great joke.
Because man, is that kid cool?
He's the coolest kid in the galaxy, man.
Oh my god, I don't even know how we started. I think we're just like, what if it turns out he's awesome, and Mon Mothma was like, oh damn, I didn't know he's chill like that, bro.
Nah, I don't want that. Nah.
He said nah, bro. Nah. Oh man, you got a really excellent scene of Clea and Val, who are just incredible actresses. Every time like Cleo's on screen, I'm just like locked in, right? I was like, she's about to be a cold motherfucker, dude. Like, yeah. She's awesome.
She barely even broke character.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was so good. But yeah, I love that all of these things are happening, and it's starting to essentially like focus on Marva passed away, and let's go ahead and just get into episode discussion. We're skipping right past the general impressions today, because I want to talk about the really interesting choice, and I say interesting as a good thing, but I think it's a really interesting choice to build up to Marva dying and then have her die off screen. Because that realization moment when they made my boy B2 EMO so fucking sad, looking like a dying puppy, and I was like, why would you do that to me?
In the subtitles, it said mechanical whimper.
Yes.
Oh,
that's so sad.
That got me.
It's so sad.
Just a shot of his eye, and then like hearing I can't remember his name, but the homiest of homies that Cassian's got, right? Hearing him being like, "All right, they're gonna take her outside if you want to say goodbye," it was just like that gut punch, and I'm just looking at this the saddest droid I've ever seen in my life, who just wants to be with somebody, who's just like, "Why don't you just stay here instead of leaving?" Tony Gilroy is gonna be paying for my therapy after this. How rude!
In a normal movie, it would be a kid sitting in the fetal position on their bed, not talking to anyone, and then they'd be like, "They're taking them out if you want to say goodbye," and they're like, "I don't wanna. I want her back." Like, it's so.
It's
fucking
sadder when
sad,
it's a
and
robot for some reason.
Robot that looks like a Roomba, but it's great.
It's this
But
trash can with an eyeball, and I love him.
Yeah.
It's compactable too, so he's just like, no.
Down there.
Yeah, the way his little eye kind
I-
of peeks out over the top, and then just no, and it goes back in. And I'm like,
Yeah, I love the decision to kill her off screen because that's so indicative of like real life.
I'm glad you
Like,
said
how
off
these
screen.
people like they've set up the fact that like she's not well, she's sick, and then like last week, within everything going on, we still got like one like, hey, reminder, she's like not doing well and not taking her meds, and then she's like goes so suddenly, and like it's jarring, but it's like that's how it is losing someone you don't know.
it's
until they're
real,
gone, and
yeah.
Yeah.
The way it's presented, it's like it hits you just as hard as it hits the characters, right? Like it's because it just happens while we're focusing on other things. Like we feel that gut punch as Cassian does, and I really like that.
Yeah, and it's another unexpected death out of nowhere. And sometimes, people can be as big of a hero in life as they possibly can be, and they don't always get the hero's death. Sometimes it's just they died in their sleep, like unceremonious, nothing super it's not like they were trying to blow up an imperial mining facility or something like that. It's just no, they were sick and they passed.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
It's real.
And the show has been full of it too. Like I think of the former stormtrooper captain during the Aldani heist, or the red-haired dude in Narkina prison who gets shot like right off the bat, like the moment that soldiers come out, and he was a character with a lot of lines in the last 2 episodes, and then he's just gone.
Right.
Yeah. And it's so fast, and the only thing you can do is just be there. And it's such an interesting contrast to Rogue One, which is just all of these heroic characters having their final hero moment, right? You got the Master Switch and his buddy running out and taking out like half a squad of Death Troopers with him, and doing all of these huge final moments. That's all. None of that's present in this, and despite this being a show that leads right into it, it's so different tonally that I love it.
100%. And one thing I also loved about this episode, because like we're doing setup, but there's also world building added to this, and I really love the fact that like they're cremated and put into the stone.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, she's with the stone now. Like I thought that was a really interesting
that was
take
sick.
on it.
Because they even say put into the wall.
Yeah, like they literally, it's like what happens after
the Pink Floyd song?
It's my favorite Pink Floyd album, dude.
All in all,
Bricks on the
just
wall.
another brick in the wall.
Brick in the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
don't
that
they
line though,
establish
because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
don't they establish like the sisters of Ferrix, or isn't that what this episode's
The
called?
daughters
Like,
of Ferrix.
Daughters
the
of
daughters,
Ferrix.
like the women who like come and like collect and have that ceremony, and they showed the drum guy and all that stuff.
My
back,
boy,
and,
who's just still out there living his best
The
life,
hammer bro,
ringing bells. He's moisturized, happy, and in his lane, dude. Like I love him so much.
See him. I wrote in my notes, I'm like, the Hammer Bro's back, dude. Let's go. Just
Bing, bing, bing.
love him.
Yeah, man.
He's the best, dude.
thought
He's
all
my
that
favorite
was
character on the whole fucking
fantastic.
show.
He's so good at what he does.
I want to be as happy as the Hammer guy someday, man.
I'd say, imagine if he's a character in the next Master of Terrakasi.
God damn it, bro. Absolutely
Imagine
not. Don't you put that evil out there, Ricky Bobby.
The Imperials like start like a fight on that planet, and then all of a sudden, just a hammer straight into a stormtrooper's head. And he's
Absolutely,
just, like,
dude.
Standing there with another one, and it's like capping it.
Pulls out another
That
one,
is
dude.
that
Yeah,
is 100%. We are building up to next week's episode, like shit going down at this
Yeah,
funeral,
man.
that is 100% happening next fucking week, dude.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be
Fucking
smashing
Todd's gonna show up
stormtrooper helmets,
fucking
dude.
hammer, dude. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Hammer
here
Boy's
for it.
about to be revealed as like, what's up? My name is Hammer Skywalker. Bam, 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 bam. God, I love him
Using the
so
Force
much.
with those hammers.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's the
Like,
best.
swirl all around him.
I want to have a job that I love as much as he does. But yeah, I do love that. Of course, we get to see the Daughters of Ferrix who were referenced back in that initial episode when they start talking about like Marva being sick and like her falling and all of that. But I really the planet of Ferrix is so fascinating. I'm so happy that they didn't just abandon the planet after that first like 3 episode arc, right? Like it's been so central to this whole show that every time we go back, you have a stronger and stronger attachment to it, even though it's kind of like it's the subplot at the moment, but it's all been leading to this big thing where Cassian's gonna come back, and the ISB have been monitoring it, and they're kind of waiting for him, and Vel's girlfriend Cinta is also there and has been watching and is waiting for there's all these people that are after Cassian that are all just kind of watching this one event that's so cool. But you get such a connection to all of these people who are sort of outside of that main plot, right? With Bix and Cassian's boy, and even the dude that's running the little like speeder transport, right? Who he calls on his space payphone.
In Space Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to Space Miami. What's
Yeah.
up?
Return to Space
Return to
Miami,
Space Miami. I saw it. I was like, yes.
I love that in Star Wars you can break out of a prison as long as you're on another planet. Like people just
It's
be
fine.
like, oh yeah, we'll take your money and just wear the clothes, buy this necklace, have fun, have a great time.
Yeah, they don't
It
give a
doesn't
shit.
matter.
They don't give a shit. Yeah, they're like, what's up to New Planet? Who are you? Don't care. Keep going.
Yeah,
Like-
people can literally go into a bar and brag about how they have the death sentence in a bunch of different like systems, and they're just like, yeah, cool, yeah, that'll be $5.95, thanks. Have
Yeah,
a-
it's just, sir, this is a Wendy's. Like, please,
Yeah.
just take your nuggets and go.
The beginning of this episode, did you guys like they had the shot of
Dude.
Cassian's feet?
As a person
So
who always
nasty.
has to wear socks and shoes, like I sleep with my socks on. I know that makes me weird. I don't care.
That
I
does
have
make you
sensitive
weird.
feet.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Aaron,
But
Aaron, right there with
All right, so
No,
you're both
I-
weird
I
then, is what I'm
can
hearing.
understand it.
You're both
I
weird.
I totally understand
See,
how gross people
I-
think that is, but
I
it's
do
just for me, it's a
50-50 though.
comfort thing, man. It sometimes I'll do it without socks, and it's very nice. But I don't do it very. I have a thing anyway. I'll post pics of my feet later, but.
For
It-
free?
It was so off-putting, man. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
And I put in my notes, I'm like, you guys should have grabbed some shoes while you were there. They were right
Yeah.
there on the wall. You
They
could've
had
grabbed
like
them.
50
You
of them. They were
damn
right there.
good
They're
while you
grabbing all the
escaped.
guns, and
You
then they're like, "Hey, should
probably
we
could've
maybe
escaped
grab these
twice
shoes that
as
we
fast.
need to
They're
save
like,
us from the electric
"Nah."
floor?" And they went, "Eh."
Nah.
I mean, those who knew how far they had to swim though? Like those things looked heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Except for Kino.
Too soon, man.
Anyway.
Hey, man, I think he's
Too
okay.
soon, bro. It's too soon.
We don't know what happened.
Something that I really love though is one, like, yeah, like them going for the quad jumper. Excellent sequels reference.
Shout out to the
First
quad
off, shout out to
jumper,
the quad
dude.
jumper. I do love. I was like, they specifically call that like it's supposed to be like a newer model in Force Awakens, and so I do like Cassian like straight up being like, that thing looks old, but I can fly it. I guess it's I love that sort of continuity where I'm like, yeah, there's multiple models of the quad jumper. That's rad.
Yeah.
I love the going after. I love that building up to like the last few episodes. Everyone's always like, "There's no aliens in this show," and now they're like, "Here's some more glup shittos for you, you fucking nerds.
Yeah,
Like, here you go."
And he's the one is like, yeah, and then we'll take them and get 1,000 each, right, bud? And he's like, ugh. Like, that's all he would say. He's like, well, yeah.
Oh, we'll take
Also,
them,
dude,
eh? We'll take them
that-
and get them money, eh? Like
that sick freaking like slimy Spider-Man like trap was so cool.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Oh it was
loved it. I thought it was
disgusting,
so
and every
cool. It was
and every time
disgusting, but it was
Yeah.
cool.
every time they
gross.
would cut back to it, and you just hear those like slurpy, just gross, like wet noises. I was just like, eh,
Yeah.
Loved it. I thought it was so cool.
Yuck. But I did like that whole scene because it's always cool just to get a weird fucking alien in Star Wars just saying nonsense, and I love that. So shout out to those guys. I don't know their names. Speaking of aliens, but cool. We got to see Saw Gerrera again. My boy Two Tubes
baby.
coming back. Absolutely. Of course,
Getting outed as a spy for Luthen.
Yeah, man.
I think that was just a fake out.
Yeah.
Luthen was saying that
but-
so Tubes would get over and he could grab his blaster and
Yeah, because the whole time
Yeah.
Two Tubes was like, "What are you talking
it's just
about?"
like, what do
He's
you
like,
mean?
No, I'm pulling this gun out so you'll listen to me.
Which, first off, fuck me, dude. Can Tony Gilroy write a bad scene, and then can Bill Skarsgård like just miss for once? Is he capable? Because like every time that Luthen starts
I think
getting
it's
serious
Stellan
on
Skarsgård.
screen, is this Stellan?
I think it's Stellan. Bill is the one who played Pennywise.
I've had them mixed up for a very long time.
There's too many Skarsgårds.
Shut- there's like 4 of
absolutely,
them!
There's way too many.
There's like 4 of them, and they all act, and I don't know. It's like
Alexander's the one who played Tarzan.
I don't fucking
I think
know.
Stellan's the one who was in Avengers and Andor. Anyway, not important. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll look this up later. It's really gonna fucking bother me. Anyway, anytime Luthen starts going off on a tirade, they're like, I'm locked in, right? And so yeah, him having that conversation with Saw and being like, Lee's like, I don't enjoy this, but he's like, if we go help out the Anto, they're gonna know there's a leak there. And like he's like, but I understand, we don't want to lose people though either. And I love that sort of spy versus soldier mentality going on where Saw's like, these are men, like we need to make sure they get out alive. And Luthen's like, I've worked a long time to get us to this position, and this will get rid of all of that work. And just that,
Yeah.
I love that we're starting to get more of that paranoia that Saw Gerrera has in Rogue One, right? Because that was, of course, where Saw Gerrera was introduced, and he was just immediately this character. I mean, I know he was in Clone Wars, but he's so different then that it's like they might as well not be the same person. And that's even true of like by the time you get to Rebels, even like he's still not quite there yet in Andor and also in like Fallen Order. So I love that we're finally starting to see like that transition of it's like, okay, here's how he gets from A to B, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, just that like that whole bit of it was like, you have a man in the ISB, you have a man with Krieger. Which one of it is it here? I love him going off, dude. He's like, lies, deceptions.
Dude, and then the part where they decide to like let Krieger and his men like die basically. He's like Saw's like 30 men plus Krieger for the greater good, and then Luthen's like, yeah, whatever you want to call it, and he's just like, let's
call it war.
And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I will forever love Forrest Whitaker's ability, be it Star Wars or Black Panther or whatever it is that he's in, to just kind of create a new accent that you've never heard before.
Right.
It was like, is he British? I don't understand what he's doing in this show, but okay, he sounds cool.
Right.
It's awesome.
Space
I love
language,
it.
go
Got
for
the
it.
eye, man, and so like, yeah, I'm here
So it
for
wasn't
it.
the respirator that makes him sound like that.
That's how he speaks.
Dude, his armor in this episode looked rad. Loved it.
Yeah,
the cool like
man.
shoulder
Noticed that
bells and
too.
stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, man.
Sweet bandolier.
Got the bandolier. He's getting like more scarring on his face and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I loved all of that.
Then we get one of the coolest escape scenes with Luthen and his ship.
Dude, lightsaber arms.
Oh my god, it was so cool, man.
Countermeasures. The countermeasures to take out the tractor beam.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah,
fires
dude,
a bunch of like
shooting all
metal
the little, like,
shards.
thumbtacks to destroy the freaking dick ship.
Which, so shout out to that Star Destroyer ship specifically. That design for the Star Destroyer is actually one of the original concepts for the Star Destroyer for Star Wars: A New Hope.
Nice.
That was one of the original concept designs for the Star Destroyer, and so them like using that in this new way was really, really cool. And yeah, obviously it's got like this big tractor beam because there's a giant satellite dish on the end of it and stuff. It's like really
there's one in the
fucking
front,
sick.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool.
I watched this episode at like 3 a.m, and I made the mistake of like looking at Twitter, and someone was like, "Luthen's ship is really OP." I'm like, man, we're really spoiling this an hour out.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
it's
was
hit
like-
that
I was like,
point, man.
man,
Later in the season, people are talking about it on the internet. It's pissing me off.
People
I
are
was
finally
like, man,
watching the show.
Yep.
I was like, man, Star Wars is healing. Star Wars nerds are healing.
Nature is
Andor
healing, bro.
Like we're back to where we were. Like, damn, we're just spoiling this right out the gate. Like, let's. I don't even mind. I don't even mind.
Yeah.
At this
No,
point,
I'm
you know,
glad
like, we're healing.
It sucks that I have to kind of avoid Twitter a lot more. Like I'm doing like the fast scroll the moment I see like hashtag Andor spoilers. I'm like, okay, go real fast. But it is
feels
also
good, we're
nice to
coming
see
back.
that's there. You know, it feels like when Obi-Wan or the Mandalorian or whatever was out and everyone's like discussing every week, and so I'm like, good, okay, yeah, like Andor's getting there.
Yeah.
Dude,
I figured it
when,
would be, and even Tony Gilroy like said it is like, yeah, like we're not too worried about the streaming. It was like we know it's gonna have a long tail. Like we're like these other two giant shows just ended. People are gonna come back to this. Like it's all good. They're not worried about it. Lucasfilm was happy, so I'm happy.
Also, they're gonna air Andor on like the first 2 episodes on Hulu and ABC.
I wish
which
they
is
did the
gonna be
first
pretty
3.
Cool. Yeah, I wish it was the first 3
FX,
also.
or not FX,
Yeah.
but-
It was like a bunch of the streamers that Disney owns.
I wish it was the first 3. Like I get the idea of being like, hey, if we don't give them that full arc, they'll want to come and watch it. I was like, yeah, but I know some people that didn't love the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
it's
The
a
third one was
risk.
definitely the kicker for me.
Yeah.
I
but
say
yeah,
fuck it.
put
I
the
say
whole
fuck
show,
the first
baby.
3. No, first 3 in a movie theater. Fuck it.
Ooh,
You know, like I
that
would
would be dope.
absolutely drop $20,
That'd be
$30
tight.
to go in a fucking IMAX theater or something and just watch.
Yeah,
those
that'd be
first
sick
3.
as fuck.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd do that.
Absolutely, man.
The scene while Luthen is getting away, I marked out so hard when the TIE fighters came out.
Oh,
Like, they're
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
where's my air
man.
support or whatever? I was like, yeah.
Because I love a good TIE fighter, man. TIE fighters are let's
They're so
put this
cool.
out there right now. TIE fighters are always cool. Like it doesn't matter. They're
Yeah.
always cool.
They're cool.
And I
with
love
the
that we
X-Wings.
got 3 ties and a bomber, which is really sick.
Yeah.
I was
The
like
bomber
little
at
of a bomber immediately dies.
Also,
Uh-huh.
like Luthen had some sick aim, just the turret coming up and just
Boom.
like just nailing
Yeah.
him perfectly every time.
Yeah.
And I
you
love
know
that
what-
he's got all these tools, right? He's got like these dope like Iron Man lasers coming out of the wings that he's spinning to get multiple with them.
Oh,
He's got
so
he's got
rad,
these
dude.
rotating auto turrets. He's got his fucking thumbtacks or whatever the hell they were, right?
Yeah,
he's got
the
all these
strap.
toys and he's messing. I love the tension there when he's like fighting the tractor beam and doing all this stuff, and he's like, "Sorry, the engine's overheating. I'm just working on it. It's
one-man
just
crew in
me."
here.
Yeah, doing all that. But I love how once the chase starts and he's blowing up all these TIE fighters stuff, you hear like from the crew on the Star Destroyer, they're like, from a
Is
cruiser,
this coming
like,
from this thing?
it's like what
Yeah.
what is this
Yeah.
ship? And I love that it's that sort of like visual storytelling of like Kylo Ren and his lightsaber, how Kylo Ren's lightsaber is a perfect mirror for the personality of Kylo Ren, is you can understand who he is by knowing the story of his lightsaber. And yeah, there's so many of these layers to Luthen that you just never expect. And the same is true of his ship, man. He's got this kind of this really cool looking but sort of unassuming ship that's suddenly just armed to the teeth and
Dude,
is taking
he's
out
like-
TIE fighters. Like I love
He's
it.
like old Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. He's
Oh,
just like
yes,
ready for
dude.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Shout out Kevin Conroy. We miss you.
Yeah. Oh, R.I.P. man.
Rest in peace,
R.I.P.
man. And
The
what
best.
I love just as much as a TIE fighter. I love the look of a defeated Imperial officer, and when he gets away and they just hang on that shot of that dude looking so sad, I'm like, this is the shit I love about Star Wars, man.
You
I
always
love this
gotta
shit.
appreciate a shot from an Imperial bridge, and then the one ship or a bunch of ships just going into hyperspace, and he's
Yeah,
just like,
man.
"Get fucked, you loser!"
And yeah, just that close up on the dude of him, just like,
And he's like,
Yeah, and Disney
Womp
era
womp
Star Wars
womp.
is killing this, man. Between like Pride and the dude at the beginning of The Last Jedi, like they
Yeah.
are killing these.
oh yeah,
shots
yeah,
whenever
it's
they're
it's
in.
all over
And I
Rebels
mean,
too.
you know-
Like it happens all the
Yeah,
time.
dude.
Uh,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm super here for it because it's absolutely. It was like, get fucked, you nerd.
You
See you later,
Fucking
idiot.
space Nazi. Fuck you, man.
It's always awesome, and just kind of getting that level of dogfight. Like I kind of wasn't expecting from the show. I know that some of those shots ended up in the trailer, but I thought it was going to be something completely different from what we saw in the preview images, and so that was really cool. I love a good space fight. I think to have a good Star Wars, you need a good space fight somewhere in there, and that they tick the box, man. But at the same time, like again, like kind of showing us more and more of who Luthen Rail is, and that's really awesome. There's just not a single second of wasted time in this whole show. Like it's absurd. It's genuinely crazy.
That space fight, like that dogfight, was so brief. It was so short, but it packed so much like little bit of storytelling in there. It told you who Luthen is.
Mm-hmm.
It told you that like the Imperials totally underestimated him, and also they're kind of assholes because they're like, oh yeah, no, the code's fine. Should we let him go? And they're like, no, we need the practice. Let's just check him. Actually, fuck that guy. Yeah. And he's like, okay, click, click, click. I'm out of here.
Yeah, man, it's wild how they managed to boil down like so many of the themes of the show within this action scene, right? Like it's just a quick reminder of who the Empire is and what they're doing and why, and then the same kind of goes for Luthen, and that sweet scene like following up like his monologue from last week is so awesome, and I love that word. He's more militant now. He's actively fighting TIE fighters and these things. Granted, it was self-defense at this point, but it's like we know he spent this whole season like chomping at the bit. Like it's like I'm ready to go. Like and it's like I know I have to wait, but I'm ready to. I'm tired of hiding. And I think it's leading towards that, and this is really exciting.
It's also a great foil to his assistant, who's like, no, we have to do this meticulously, carefully, like. She's really playing this out.
I feel like she's the one really running the show. Let's be 100 here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all Clea. Who even is Luthen? You know? Who even is this guy? Before we take off, I did also want to shout out to the return of our favorite Scottish sergeant. You know, I was so genuinely surprised to see it, to see him show back up again, and I love just like the sweet joy, the pure comeuppance of him just having this shit job in the middle of nowhere. Like I love the great little comedy bits of Cyril trying to talk to him and him completely mishearing and just continuing to respond. He's like, "You saw it, Andor?" He's like, "No, I'm still here. It's like
we'll do it later.
It's so good.
Andor's mom is dead. Yeah, Andor.
He's like, yeah, I just heard about him.
Andor. The funniest thing though is that you gotta remember this is at like the middle of the night for.
Yeah, it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he just tries to it's like trying to call somebody so you can stay awake on a road trip, but you hit a bridge and I'm like, please, I just need someone to talk to, and they're like, what are you saying?
I'm so bored right now, bro. Answer my FaceTime, you bitch.
Just working on the smelting floor and shit like that, and I love how it like it's like indicative of The Last of Us Part 2, like when Tommy goes to Ellie and is like, I know where Abby is, and it pulls him back, like it pulls Ellie back in. It
just
pulls
when I thought I was out
into being like, yeah, you're bringing me back in, and he's
right
like,
back in.
risking it all. He's like stealing like money from his mom's wallet and shit.
He took his mom's credit card, bro. He's like, he's calling his buddy back up. He's like, I got mom's MasterCard. Let's get the hell out of here, bro.
We're going.
The PS5 now. Don't say shit.
Road trip.
We're going to WrestleMania.
But in reality, it's a funeral for someone's mom, and he's gonna fucking blow it up. He's gonna
do some incel shit, dude. Like,
yeah, man.
Okay, real quick about Cyril Karn. More episodes than not, we've seen this motherfucker eating cereal.
Yeah, Cereal Karn.
Why have we not called him Cereal Karn? That's what I'm saying.
Pay attention to my Twitter, bro. I'm there. I'm all over it.
Well, okay.
I'm all over it.
We know that now.
Yeah, Cereal Karn. But
also,
what this is, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
What this is just a massively missed opportunity for proper marketing, right? Where is my cereal corn, like corn puffs? You know what I mean?
Cornflakes.
The cornflakes, bro!
Yeah, where are my cornflakes, dude?
After the finale, they'll start making them.
Yeah, man, I need
Corn Pops.
my oops, all cereal corn. All space berries.
Cornflakes.
Every box comes with a little 3-inch figurine.
It's just like a hollow of Cassian Andor, so you can sit and brood while you eat your
But
cereal.
it's him clean shaven, so it looks kind of weird. It's like,
shout out to the sideburn. I love that he shaved the sideburns back in after he got back to Space Miami. Also, speaking of Space Miami, yo, Melchi got some fucking drip, dude.
Hell
You saw that
bro.
shirt, man? I was like,
bro.
He looks like any white dude going to a concert, man. Like, he's dressed for it.
my guy's about to go hit the new Joji tour, man.
He just got out,
Yeah,
got out of a
man.
Coldplay show.
Yeah, and like I love the color palette when we're back here. Like it's like it's such a contrast difference to like where we saw it before with people, like the colors pop and people are popping, everyone's like out and about, and it's just like dead and depressing and shit like that.
The
and,
music, man. The music is so
Yeah.
good in that scene.
So
yeah,
also
all the life
too-
has been taken away out of this planet, reflective of like how it's been taken away from like Andor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
go for
to rewind a bit, the scene with Mon Mothma at her house, and Vel is visiting, and her daughter and all of her friends are doing this weird ass cult space Mormonism
God,
crap.
so
man.
strange.
And they're like, oh yeah, no, are you making her do this? And she's like, no. And she's like, is your husband doing it? And he's like, no, he's actually pretty open-minded about this stuff. The daughter wants to do it.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of like about the kid for like the past few weeks, but ladies and gentlemen, Josh was right. Fuck this kid.
Yeah,
This
man.
kid sucks. And I love that Mon Mothma is sitting there watching this happen, just with a classic mom move, glass of wine, just like, oh boy. And then he's talking to Vel and is like, so thought I was gonna be able to fix this. I'm in a lot of trouble. Like my accounts are kind of all fucky right now. And they're like, well, how much is missing? 400,000 credits. But she found a solution.
Just a little bit.
Coolest kid in the galaxy.
The raddest child you've ever
let's
met,
go.
bro. Absolutely. He's going to come in
Rad
vaping
dude,
on
bro, is his
spice. he's just fucking like, what's the Star Wars equivalent of just being like iced out, man? He's just coming, he's got rings everywhere, right? Like he's looking like Odin and God of War, just tattoos and rings on every single finger. And
We gotta
Yeah,
figure out a term for that. For dripped out but Star Wars.
The what's
Landoed.
or the no regrets guy from We Are the Millers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing.
he's got like a trucker hat and like long hair and he's just like
Yeah.
sup.
The Bass
spitting
Pro
tobacco,
Shop snapback,
absolutely.
Yeah. Just dipping my grizzly, ripping my vape.
Oh God. And
I'm
with
here for
that, everyone, this is the Waypoint spoiler talk on Andor episode 11. If you enjoyed it, if you think what's his face is just the raddest child in the galaxy, let us know down below in the comments, and get ready for what is sure to be an absolute banger of a finale next weekend, because this show all hits, no misses. You know what I'm saying? This is all killer, no filler, no skips. We love to see it. I'm excited to see if they can stick the landing. But I will see you at the next Waypoint.